Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Festive Forecast, where you'll get to learn about everything from proven operations tactics, which will help you scale and ship and deliver right this festive season. So, as all of you know, the festive season brings a massive spike in customer traffic, in orders, and customer expectations as well. So, for that, we've brought together an amazing panel of leaders Gauri Malik, Gavis Balyan, and Abhinav Kumar, who've scaled operations through this very pressure that comes during the festive season across different categories of products. So, let me begin with introducing them. We have with us Gauri, the founder and director of Sirohi, a sustainable luxury brand that fuses modern design with traditional craft in home and lifestyle products. And it has empowered over 950 plus rural women artisans. So, Gauri, I would like to welcome you and I would request you to give a small introduction to the audience.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me on this web series. It sounds super interactive and fun. So I run this brand called Sirohi, where we make design first products primarily in home decor, gifting, sustainable baskets, and take them to buyers across the world. We're essentially trying to bridge the gap between handmade products, which are typically always known to be अच्छा NGO है, handmade है, artisan है, सस्ता है, but infuse them with high quality design so we can take made in India to the world. And you should absolutely check out sirohi.org. And if anybody is here who's a decision maker for gifting or for in the Horeca space, hospitality, you should check us out because we also do amazing handmade furniture, which is all inspired by the Charpai style of weaving. And thank you for having me and looking forward to all your amazing questions.
Thank you so much, Corey. We also have with us Gavis Balyan, who leads e-commerce and customer experience at Auric. He has over 11 years of experience across logistics, customer service, and end-to-end operations. For the last 3+ years, he's at Auric and he's been driving digital expansion and backend excellence across their website and marketplace channels. Gavis, it's amazing to have you with us. I would also, invite you to share a few words with the audience before we start with the panel.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. Hi, everyone. A very warm good evening. Myself, Govist Balyan, and I'm representing Auric here. Auric basically deal in food, beverage, and supplements. Nowadays, we are in top three seller in ghee category in India at Amazon. We are top seller in supplement category at Amazon, where we are best seller in liver detox. We do gifting as well, and we are taking care of exports since last 3 years. We are available in US, UK, and Canada, as well as we do bulk shipping for Dubai and UAE.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gaves. It's amazing to have you with us. And we also have the head of operations from Numi, the up and coming brand I think I'm seeing everywhere on Instagram. We have Abhinav Kumar with us. At Numi, Abhinav manages complex ops systems behind their weekly new drops. And he's somebody who understands what it takes to build a system that scales fast and also sustains. So, Abhinav, welcome. It's amazing to have you with us. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Tanvi. Hey, hi, guys. I have been leading operations for past 5 months. Before that, I started my journey with Yumi 2 years ago, and it has been a phenomenal journey. At that time, we were doing from that point we have scaled I think around 6x in last 2 years. So seeing that journey from first hand, it has been amazing. Having said that, it comes with its own challenges because our USP is dropping, 400, 500 styles every week. And that becomes challenging in terms of inventory management, in terms of keeping the costs as well as returns in check. So basically, a newbie is, if for those who don't know about the brand, it is a fast fashion Gen Z brand, especially focusing on women. Uh, Basically, our true moat lies in keeping the inventory wastage to a minimal while launching 500 styles on a regular basis. Uh, yeah, I mean that's it. Happy to be here and thanks for having me here, Tanvi.
Thank you so much, Abhinav. So, before we go on with the session, I'll again remind you that please put your questions, any question you have from the panelists or in general, please put them in the Q&A tab. If you put it in the chat box, they might get missed. So, with that, without wasting any time, let's kick off the panel. So, my first question would be to Gavist. So, we know that festive season brings in, a lot of orders, a huge influx of orders all at once when the festive sales start. And what's important is forecasting the festive season demand as it's coming based on the previous customer data. So my question to you would be that how do you forecast festive demand for marketplaces versus your own website, and do you stock differently for both these channels, or you have a centralized op system or model for both?
Tanvi, I think me and Gori are the really right person who can face such challenges because our directly demand comes up all of a sudden because gifting is a segment where we can't plan anything. Because last time, if we talk about last year Diwali, we plan a long back for 2 3 months ago before Diwali itself. We are planning for stock inventory and everything, but all the order comes up within 20 25 days before the event. So before Diwali, everyone come up. I need this, that, customization, logo. There are so many requirements, but anyhow, it's our job and duty to fulfill all those requirements. So Tanvi, best part here is we don't do different product for marketplace or for our website. The product will remain same for all the platform. Only thing is we provide some customization in our website. If customer directly visit to Auric store, then definitely we can help them out if they are looking for some customization. Or if customer are looking for a bulk purchase, they want their logo or co-branding at the time of gifting section, we can do that. Yes, I do agree. Nowadays, after quick commerce come up in the picture, we all are looking for delivery within a day, or even after Blinkit and Big Basket, we are expecting a delivery within few hours. Even not 4 hours, even we are expecting delivery within 30 minutes. So that completely change customer requirement and mindset. Nowadays, if your product is delay even within a day, customer are not ready to wait. They want to cancel that product and immediately they try out an alternate option for that. So before we go with a quick commerce, we try out an alternate solution of that because all the product are not immediately needed. But nowadays, just because we are habitual, we as a customer we completely forgot it's immediately needed or for a long term requirement. So that's the only reason now every seller have to create their dark stores either with a logistic partner or by themselves, just to cater and fulfill all these requirements, so that whensoever customer reach us we can immediately serve their requirement. Yes, we do the same, but here what we do is we fulfill all our major moving SKUs to Amazon, and Amazon come up with a service which is MCF, Multiple Fulfillment Center. We get the dispatch order from these locations, so the delivery timeline got reduced with the help of that. Within 1 or 2 days, every single order get delivered to customer doorstep.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gavis. You rightly said that both you and Gauri might be facing the hugest influx because you come in from the gifting category when it comes to customization and all of that. And my next question to is for Gauri only, because Gauri, you work with rural artisans and your products are all handmade. So since they're not mass produced in the factories, how do you scale the production during the festive season without risking timelines or quality?
Right. So I think it's an easy yet tough answer because, one is that it took me 4 years to realize that we are a handmade product. We're not a factory because honestly, we were trying to compete with mass produced products and we realized we cannot be price competitive. We cannot be as quick in terms of timeline. So we are now aware of what we can do and what we do really well and who our target audience is. Typically, the kind of target audience that we have for our products is corporates, HNIs, a lot of people who want to meet their ESG and CSR goals. Typically, they are okay with margins. They are okay. They have decent volumes as well. And the gifting is either internal for their employees or for their partners, clients. What we've noticed is that for us, we typically are able to have a catalog of limited products when it comes to hampers, and we then give people options of choosing, with a basket, and we make a lot of very beautiful handmade baskets. For us, our forte is our packaging, the way the product looks. It's affordable yet looks very luxe and royal. So for us, we typically have taken 4 years of data. We've understood who's the kind of client that we have. We worked on projections, and we actually start up with planning for Diwali almost 4 months prior, because we know we do a lot of partnerships with large brands who close their Diwali orders and place them pretty much in like Feb March. So we have a long production timeline for those partnerships. For anything which is ad hoc, last minute, like Gavis rightly said, a custom request, immediately chahiye, 1 day delivery. We keep a bunch of stock with us as well. And we're fortunate that that stock over time gets diluted through the year because our product doesn't have an expiry date. So that works. So yes, I think for us, it's been learning along the way on how the handmade sector works while still being able to focus on scale. For us, we're not looking at a game of volumes. We're looking at small batch production, but at the same time being able to ensure we meet our margins and the company is growing. During the festive season, we obviously have more artisan clusters that we collaborate with than in off season. And we while we are a brand, we do 70% of our orders are B2B. So we have a lot of B2B bulk partnerships. So we get those advanced timelines as well. So that's how we've been able to really, I would say, sustain the whole Diwali gifting madness. But and we're not even looking to compete with quick commerce. We know that that's not our, our game plan. So we stick to what we know and we make sure we do it the best.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gauri. And I think it's very insightful for the newer founders who are just coming up to know how well before they have to plan before the festive season. Like you said, that brands start planning and giving in orders since I guess Feb and March you said. So yeah, I think that's very insightful. And my next question is for you, Abhinav. That how do you manage your warehouse planning during the festive season? Because as I know, Numi drops hundreds of new styles, I guess, weekly. So when you're doing that, and on top of it, you introduce festive sales into the mix, you get the already the orders you're getting, and on top of it, you get another huge influx of orders. So how do you optimize things when it comes to space or pick accuracy and dispatch speed all get pressure tested all at once? So how do you manage that?
Sure. I'll just break it down in terms of whenever we are like seeing such kind of peak demand, how we plan. And it can be festive season, it can be some sale planning. So for us, the main peak event or tower event that comes is around Black Friday. That is one day that basically Numi owns, and apart from like any other brand, I think our sales numbers are like off the roof on that day. But of course, that comes with a lot of planning. So basically, the main objective is twofold. One is to deliver 90% or better SLA, like on time delivery, and the other is obviously to keep costs in check, or like have the added benefit of the volume, so that we can get, if let's say the warehouse is third party owned, we can get like volume based discounts, or if we have our own warehouse, self operated warehouse, then economies of scale can kick in. So the top of it starts with total order plan, which starts like much more in advance, actually 3 4 months in advance. uh, when we have a clarity around total order planning, that is being done with marketing and growth teams, basically checking the past data, the conversion uptick that we expect, uh, the and obviously the traffic that we are going to expect, and on that the excess conversion. Based upon that, we have an estimate of how much will be getting an orders, and I think the last time it was on point. So apart from that, the next thing would be to plan which SKUs or which styles will get how many sales, like how many units are we expecting to sell, for new styles. And then for new styles, the challenge comes in that if a new styles comes in for which we don't have sufficient inventory, how to plan it, how to ramp it up. And since it's a new style, then we don't have sales data also for that particular style. And for old styles, it's comparatively easier to manage. But that's when data science comes in. Uh, we have a data science dedicated team in-house. Basically, they are based upon many other parameters, or based upon demand for like pin codes, demand for styles, colors, categories, and app impressions. They basically predict, like for example, how likely or how much units we can expect to be sold on which SKU or style. Based upon that, we place a reorder with our vendors globally as well as in India. We have our own factory also in India. So based upon that, we uh, produce the inventory. And then the next thing comes is to predict a localized demand. Like for example, we have three warehouses in three major cities across country. And basically, you have to keep the costs in check and to keep the warehouses usage optimized, you have to split the inventory in such a fashion that the regional utilization percentage, like for example, the orders that are, for example, coming from Bangalore gets filled from Bangalore warehouse, most of them. That goes, that sustains to a certain level. This helps us to keep last mile costs in check, and this doesn't add, excess pressure or like just like focus pressure on just one particular warehouse, right? So uh, and this also enables us to not, you know, invest in a temporary warehouse, just to cater to the demand of peak season. After that, we now have the inventory load. We now have across like zonal demand. Now we plan the inwards, like how many drops, like how many warehouse drops we expect on a daily basis. Upon that, we ramp up our inward capacity both in terms of infra as well as manpower. After that, the dispatch planning is done. So to ensure that most of the styles, like at least 90% on-time delivery rate is hit. Our warehouses has basically there are like more infra plan. The warehouse hours are extended. Last mile partners are like the delivery partners are intimated such that they pick up. They also expect such orders, so they align their internal transportation in such a fashion that most of our orders get dispatched. And basically that's it. I mean, apart from that, if let's say your demand planning overshadows the current warehouse, but then after the peak season, you expect your demand to fall back to the number that was before the peak season, or like basically you don't require to. If let's say you don't require to expand your warehouse, then in that case, you should be looking at temporary warehouse setup. So a temporary warehouse is like just a storage unit nearby your current warehouse or mother warehouse, and basically you can stock it up and the excess inventory there and get the inventory as and when required and invert it and then dispatch it. So yeah, I mean this is the gist of the planning.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Abhinav. I think we got a lot of great insights from what you shared about inventory planning and also warehouse management. I took actually 3 points from your conversation. You said that one of the biggest festive moments you have is Black Friday sales, which was typically a more Western thing a couple years back. In the last 2, 3 years, I guess Black Friday sales have also become a thing in India. So that is where I guess our sales period usually used to be till Diwali or a couple weeks after, but now it's extended till Black Friday also. So,
Right.
like you talked about warehouse planning, my next question about that is to Gavist. When do you, if you have extra inventory, so do you stock it near your major delivery zones during the festive season, like using a regional warehouse, like Abhinav said, or do you ship from one centralized location? And if you have tried both, which one has worked the best for you in terms of speed and cost?
So, Tanvi, yes, at the time of festival season, as Gauri said, 4 or 5 months before, we have planned completely what was our last year inventory and the requirement, what will be the expected inventory and requirement for this year. Similarly, before festival season itself, we fulfill all the channel like Amazon and Flipkart are fulfilled. Similarly, we put our stock to the major hubs like from Bangalore we catered complete South region, from Delhi we catered complete North region. We put a volume to Bombay as well, so that we can reduce the delivery timeline because even though we have just 20-25% of COD volume, 75 is prepaid, and prepaid have really good delivery percentage, only the CODs have returned. But still, if we reduce the delivery timeline, the COD delivery percentage will increase along with that. Delivery timeline really play a major role to reduce RTOs, to reduce in-transit damage and all these things.
Okay.
Yes, we
Uh,
put our major or the top moving SKUs to at least 4 or 5 major hub from where we can cater all the nearby or the local deliveries.
Okay. So, while we are talking about warehouses, it's very important how you optimize the space inside the warehouse also. So, for that question, I think Gauri, you would be the best person because you sell products of very different sizes, from smaller baskets to bigger storage chests that you make for children. So, how do you organize your warehouse space to store and process such a wide range of product sizes efficiently, without the larger products taking up more space or interrupting the dispatch of smaller items?
Right. So for us, we've got a stock room where we stock all our smaller products by design, and that's very clearly and properly managed in racks. So it's very clear on which design, which combination, and it's all labeled. So it's very easy for us. We don't unfortunately have a that large a our warehouse is 15,000 square feet. Now I don't know if it sort of comes in a large or a small category in our case, but we have a stock room for any large furniture, or the trunks, the benches. We typically have frames, and all the frames are stacked and kept, so anytime an order comes in, it's easy for us to get the frame woven. We don't have the entire product woven and kept with us. So that's how we optimize. We also know the tat that it takes from making a product from a frame to woven stage, and what that is, or from, like, if we get an order from, like, from scratch to the weaving stage. Like I mentioned, typically we are now moving, while we come across as a D2C brand, 70% of what we do is B2B. So for us, it's much easier to plan our inventory, our stock, and honestly, whatever gets left behind, excess, any orders get cancelled, that's what moves into stock. It's only now that we're, as a brand, planning to do a little bit more of D2C website sales, marketplaces this Diwali season, because we saw a huge demand last year that we couldn't fulfill. So this year we're going to plan better, and typically during the Diwali festive time, since we're very specific talking about that period, we see sales of smaller products. So we actually kind of increase the timelines on our website for any large customized orders for benches, trunks. So that's not taking up space, and then we kind of increase it. We also have drop shipping. So craft clusters we have partnerships with craft clusters across the country. So when it comes to a gift hamper, the basket typically comes from us, which is stored in our warehouse. But the contents could be a partnership with, let's say, an Auric for their honey, or it could be a partnership with somebody else, for candles. So typically, when an order comes in, we either stock a little bit of inventory with us, or if it's a bulk order, we know these are all D2C brands that typically have stock. Then we're able to call for their products a lot faster, which is a 1 or 2 day tax. So it's not taking up place in our warehouse. So that's how we've been managing it so far.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gauri. And while we are talking about what goes on inside the warehouse, I would again come back to Abhinav. Abhinav, you operate in the fashion industry, which manages different sizes in products. You have multiple SKUs because for one product only you have multiple SKUs. So when you're managing hundreds of styles with multiple size option, how do you ensure that you're stocked in the right sizes and you don't end up with something which is not selling and too little of something that is selling during the festive season?
Sure. So the core moat, as I hinted on earlier, also the core moat of the company is reducing inventory dependency or wastage, right? So typically a traditional fashion brand, basically, waste around 25 to 50% of their inventory. This hurts them in terms of inventory wastage and their gross margins, and this also doesn't enable them to reduce their costs. So, uh, having said that, our inventory wastage has been less than 5% till date. So, the main USP, I would say, or the main differentiator here would be that since we launch 500 styles every week, we don't produce and keep everything. We basically be inventory light in all those 500 styles. This means two things. Of course, we show extended timelines because whenever we get an order, we source it from vendors or produce it in our factory and then ship it to customers. So that means a longer extended timeline of 12 to 15 days. But how it helps us is that, let's say around out of 500 styles, generally around 5 to 10% styles, start picking up traction. They start to do really well, right? So once we have developed confidence on those styles, we start, placing reorders and ramping up inventory quite fast in those styles, right? And then we have a confidence, and then again, we use another data science model to predict, based upon various other factors like PDP opens, category trends, and the actual trends of these styles, to see like in the next 1 month or the next 20 days, what kind of inventory sales we talk about. There is obviously there's a uh, predictive accuracy that is behind this, but this has been improving quite a lot in the past, and it has basically improved to a certain level where we can keep our inventory wastage to a minimum. So I mean the same model is basically applied in peak season also. It's just that the total inventory or the total numbers that we're talking about is much higher compared to the BAU. Uh, and obviously the savings in inventory here definitely overshadows the higher returns or the drop in conversion that we might expect by showing a longer timelines of 12 to 15 days, where for something where we have inventory, we generally typically shows 1 to 4 days. So but that is definitely overshadowed by the savings and inventory wastage that we have.
Okay. Thank you so much, Abhinav. I think these were some very great insights for, fast fashion brands that are coming up these days. And this would actually help them navigate the festive season this year a lot better. So for my next question, it's for Gauri. So, Gauri, you said that most of your orders are B2B and you create gift baskets with other partners, right? So, when bulk orders come in from your partners alongside, you said that this year you're planning to scale your D2C also. So,
Yeah.
what is the plan and how are you going to operationally, split production and fulfillment without creating bottlenecks for either of the channels?
So, just to give you an example, and I'll use a story from last year. So, last year we had a partnership where we had to deliver 7,000 HNI gifts to individuals across India. That means to almost 5,000 individual addresses and, uh, you know, uh, products that were clubbed into, I would say, clusters. So, maybe like 100 to 100 products to one branch. So, that meant over 6,000 deliveries across India. The product was a beautiful box that was handcrafted by Sirohi, and the contents were brass candles that were where we partnered with another cluster in Pune. So we typically choose only products where we know that I know my production timelines, I know my capacity, what can I do in a month. So for me, it's easier to plan the basket or the packaging that we are going to use. Now the challenge comes in, the product that goes inside the hamper. What we typically do is work with artisan clusters manufacturers who have things in stock, whose focus is on a particular product. The moment you work with somebody across various categories, they don't have product focus as such, so they're not able to manufacture something at scale. So we will look at for example, the brass candles, we looked at a manufacturer that only does brass. So we know he would have the capability, the production line to do that. We also sort of, before we plan our Diwali gifting, we actually have a complete SOP in place, a checklist, so that we choose the partner for the contents accordingly. So we know we're only going to choose somebody who can manufacture at scale, who has done orders before. So how a corporate will assess us for gifting, we assess our partners the same way. This year, we decided that we're going to do a lot of FMCG products because typically FMCG sees a huge influx in Diwali orders. People want mithai, laddus, healthy snacks, and we see that brands are stocking these products. They will have maybe a smaller range, but they will have high volumes. So sourcing is easier. So production typically for us is only of our product, and all the contents will be in partnership with a D2C brand that has the scale to give us products a lot faster. Obviously, we've learned from our experiences and made a lot of mistakes and had ridiculous, blunders that we've done. Where last year, one of our and please during Diwali, I would definitely say festive season, partner with the right shipping courier partner. Don't optimize for costs, because the moment you do that, you are at the risk of losing the partnership, especially when it comes to large clients, individual deliveries. People want things on time, they don't want it damaged, and they're paying you for it, right? And of course, Diwali in India has so much of nostalgia, emotion attached to it, so it becomes fires that you have to burn to sort of put out. So for us, last year we had a shipping partner that where we had to send a HNI present to somebody, and the partner actually received um, something, which I don't even want to talk about, which was very embarrassing. And So essentially, it got taken up at a much higher level. So I think shipping is, of course, very, very important when it comes to Diwali and partnerships. But planning for production is, I would always definitely look at hedging my bets in trying, as opposed to trying to do production for everything in my hamper in one space, but will diversify, like how you would in a in a mutual fund portfolio, or and how you like choose your stocks. You basically like just hedge and diversify, and that's what's worked for us. So we're not just focused on doing all the production ourselves.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gauri. You rightly pointed how important, things like delivery and all of this is very important because this comes in post-purchase, and post-purchase is what actually gets the customer retained, right? So that actually commands over what the customer's final impression of your brand would be. So my next set of questions are about that only. They're mostly post-purchase based. So, talking about deliveries only, Abhinav, I'd like to come to you. So, Numi offers 60-minute deliveries in some cities. So, how does the system hold that up in situations of festival sales when volumes are increasing? So, how does 60-minute deliveries work then?
60-minute delivery was launched like 1 year, not even 1 year back. In fact, 8, 9 months back. Yeah. But we have not experienced like a festive or Black Friday kind of event, but we have definitely experienced some kind of peak seasons across sales, across certain dates. Uh, there have been moments that initially when we didn't expect that kind of demand. Like obviously we didn't have data for that. Our systems got choked. जिसको बोलते हैं operations में मतलब things got broken. I would say we breached SLAs. Sometimes we even delivered promising 60 minutes and delivering like 3 4 hours. But then basically what we have done is that we have built a system where if active orders exceed a certain number, which is more than our capacity at any point of time, we will switch it off because in 60 minutes there's very less room for errors. If
Definitely.
you don't dispatch in 10 minutes, your order will get raised, right? So that's why we have thought that better to not promise something to a customer that we cannot keep. Uh, we just like if the basically load exceeds a certain threshold, we switch off the 60-minute delivery, and then we allow the system to saturate, deliver the orders, and then it automatically, whenever that threshold is, again reached in terms of like when the demand goes down that threshold, it again switches on on those particular locations. So this helps us navigate the challenge, for festive season. But having said that, next time, if I were to plan for the festive season, then obviously we would need to have, demand numbers, and we'll not be promising maybe something so aggressive. We'll add some kind of buffer or communicate to the customer that 60-minute guarantee is not applicable. So yeah, I mean that's my 2 cents here. Since it's a very new system, we have some limited data around 60-minute delivery.
Thank you so much, Abhinav. Again, talking more about deliveries, I'd like to know how Auric deals with this festive influx that comes in. And so during festive season, courier partners are actually already overloaded and the SLA's commitments often slip. So how do you ensure your orders still get prioritized and delivered on time?
Okay, so Tanvi, thing is, first of all, at the time of festival, we send prior intimation to our website that is a Diwali peak, so expect 1 or 2 day delay in delivery, because we know, but anyhow, for that spec season only, partner also not ready to hire extra manpower, because they also catered with lot of high volume. So what we did is, customers are looking for a transparent communication at that time. If we just inform them at the time of dispatch itself, your delivery will take 5 to 6 days, definitely they will wait as per the commitment timeline. Even though if there is any delay, any particular hub or station is choked because of backlog, my customer support team always get in touch with the logistic partner. Our spoke will give a prior intimation this particular area or this particular zip code is badly affected and deliveries are affected with this much timeline. At the same time, we communicate all those update with our customer through WhatsApp, mail, and calling that at your particular location is affected due to backlog and delivery will be delayed with this much timeline. So if we pass on all the communication to customer prior, we give a prior intimation, customer is ready to understand at the time of peak season.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kavist. Another thing that increases during festive seasons, I guess, is returns. You get a huge influx of returns because of impulse buys, and a lot of people are gifting also. So, Abhinav, how does Numi manage that? How do you manage returns, not just in terms of maybe deliveries like reverse logistics, but also how do you, stop it in a way from interfering with your inventory or warehouse management?
Great. I believe you are asking about, without it affecting our dispatches like
Yeah,
SLAs of
yeah.
warehouse. Right. Okay. Now, okay, yeah, so returns, of course, since you get like lots of orders as a percentage, even if the returns remain same or this go up or down slightly, the quantum will be too high. So for that, you have to decide, basically for every brand that will be different. For us, what we have done is that our scale is not such that we should be, for us, basically having a centralized warehouse for return makes more sense than having it sent back to the source, right? So for all the customer initiated returns, we basically send it to our one of the centralized warehouses where returns are processed and refurbished because it's an apparel. So you have to take care of the freshness. Yeah, you have to basically iron the clothes or like get it cleaned, basically get it refurbished, and then again invert it for the inventory to show up in the system, to inventory to go live. So of course you expect a certain percent of return based upon your past trends. So last time when we experienced a peak sale, we we would be having a certain percentage of return. Based upon that, on the current, on this season's total order volume, I'll be getting a total percentage of returns that I'll be expecting. I would be, and then I'll have a timeline that, let's say any return should not be exceeding more than 2 days in basically should not be stuck more than 2 days in warehouse. It should go live within 2 days, let's say. Then I'll be planning the manpower accordingly, and the infra, of course, for the returns accordingly. in that. And obviously for our scale and for most of the brands that might be here, having a centralized one makes more sense for returns. Uh, because refurbishment, you have to decide between, cost impedances between refurbishment cost as well as last mile costs. So, I mean, yeah, I mean that's it. But having said that, generally in peak season we see that returns go down slightly, just because customers are getting a better value for their money.
Okay. That's actually
But
a
yeah,
very
the
new
quantum,
insight I've heard
the
that
quant
returns go down during the festive season.
no,
Okay.
but the quantum is high. As a percentage,
Mm-hmm.
returns will go down.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you,
Quantum will
Abhinav.
definitely be high. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the orders are already a lot as compared to normal days. Yeah.
Also, just adding to that point, I think that during the festive season, people have so much more going on. So, and if it's not a very high value order, typically they'll be like, "Baad mein dekhenge," and by that time, the time for RTO is done.
Might be,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So Gauri, coming back to you next. Uh, when we are delivering products, it's very important to make sure that products reach customers or clients undamaged and properly packaged and all of that. And when it comes to furniture or say larger decor products, they are very logistically complex to package and to look through the whole final last mile delivery. So what processes or partnerships have you uh, done in the past few years which have helped you avoid any breakage or delays and also avoid high shipping costs during festive peaks, because larger the product, the volume is larger, and that also increases your delivery costs. So yeah.
Right. So for again, specific to festive orders, we typically don't see a lot of orders for our furniture then, because we're not really, I would say, a furniture. That category is much smaller on our website. I think people rather go to like Pepperfry or Urban Ladder or one of these websites. Um, Essentially for us, if it comes to a larger gifting hamper where it's a large hamper in a trunk, and we even have those, we're very fortunate that our products are super sturdy and actually made from like a very thick metal frame, and woven, so they're not really fragile products. And since we do a lot of exports as well, our cardboard that we use is typically 5 ply, so it's much thicker. We also have our products that have gone through drop tests. And what you mean by drop tests is in export languages, you hold a product at a certain height and you drop it and make sure it doesn't damage. So we have things like that that we've implemented and done for a lot of our products. Of course, made tons of mistakes and learned over the years on what to package with, what not to package with. We're a sustainable brand, so we also have to live up to that reputation of ours, because we cannot use too much of plastic. We cannot use materials that create a lot of waste once the product is opened as well. So during the festive season, I think we are very, very curated in what kind of product we select for the festive season. And we, like I said, the checklist that we have also has that it should be very secure, in the sense that it doesn't get damaged in shipping. We know this product has the potential of not breaking or getting bent, and things like that. So I think it's the product curation that we do. We make sure that we package in materials that are of export quality during those times. And at the same time, we try to choose shipping partners like Shipway to make sure that the orders are delivered very securely. Because I personally do believe that all the warehouses during the festive season start getting choked. And there are lots of false timelines that are given where the package has not even reached the warehouse yet. So I think choosing the right kind of shipping delivery partner during that time, where they have trained personnel for delivery handling of the products, is super important. And typically we do simple things like put fragile on our cartons, and we make sure it looks very luxe, in the sense that people know, okay, it's always about look, and then you touch, feel, and decide. So I think the general behavioral is that the moment someone looks at that package, they know कि इसमें कुछ fragile होगा, and the sticker is there. So I think it helps us take some of these precautions as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gauri. And I guess Abhinav has to leave us a little early because he has some prior engagements. So thank you, Abhinav, for being in the session with us. And I actually got to learn a lot about the festive season from you, especially a newer coming vertical that is Black Friday sales for India. I guess you shared a lot of light onto that and the return stats as well. So thank you so much, Abhinav, for being with us.
Thanks for having me here. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now, one other thing that customers today want is transparency, especially the newer generations. They want a very, uncomplicated, very transparent delivery experience, and the whole buying experience should be very transparent when it comes to order updates or say tracking the order. So my next question to you, Gavis, would be that how do you manage these Vismo queries which come in during the festive season? Because as soon as a customer, I guess, places orders nowadays, they are onto the tracking page to know where when their order is arriving, and even a slight delay would tick them off. So how do you manage that?
Okay, so Tanvi, here we are using two different platforms. First of all, Shopify, our website is on Shopify. So Shopify provide a really great support here when we got a order. Through the Intellytics, customer got a order confirmation WhatsApp message and a order confirmation mail as well. If it's a COD order, customer will get a COD to prepaid conversion option as well along with the additional discount. Once order got fulfilled, again customer will got a WhatsApp message and a mail that your order got dispatched with this particular logistic partner. You can just click over the link and you can get track your shipment by yourself. Once there is a NDR and we have to just put a tag of NDR, again customer will got all these communication over WhatsApp and mail. Both the options are available over there. Even though after delivery also customer got a mail and messages. Even though sometimes customer got irritated because of all this bombardment of messages and mail. There are 6 or 7 messages and mail if there is a NDR. If it's just go through the flow, the shipment got delivered without any NDR, but still there are 4 to 5 email and messages. But that's required nowadays because customers are looking for the status and the update, which is just a click away. Now we are always available over the WhatsApp, even though before sleep also we just check it out if there is any WhatsApp pending on someone is texting our WhatsApp. And once we wake up, our very much first task is just to check our phone if there is any WhatsApp message. Rather than our mail, rather than our other application, we are so dependent on WhatsApp. Our order, our company communication, our team communication, our group, everything is going on over WhatsApp nowadays. So same thing we are expecting from the companies, like we got our all the transaction and order detail over WhatsApp and just a click away from me. So we are using that. We are communicating all these things to customer over WhatsApp and mail both. Again, if there is any support required, because we have our own customer support and customer retention team which reach out to customer over call. We are not completely dependent on the logistic partner. If there is any NDR, we text the customer as well as at the same time we reach out to customer over the phone.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gavis. I think these are very important insights, especially into, transparency, and WhatsApp, I feel, is the up and coming leader when it comes to order updates, because that is where your customer will probably, check where their order is and they won't have to go to your website all the way and check through the tracking page, I believe. So, are there any special instruction or something like that you give to the customer service team? Because I think they're packed during the festive season.
So
Are there any specific guidelines or something like that given to them?
my first suggestion to everyone is make yourself and your comfort customer to be comfortable, and we have to ensure our customer just I'm just a call away from you. If you have any query, any issues, I'm always there for you. When I was in Wakefit, before Oric, I was in Wakefit. I was the seventh employer there when Wakefit just started and Wakefit became a brand. My contact number, my personal contact number is over there with every single shipment, either mattress, pillow, protector, whatsoever is it. And even though if I got a call at midnight, 12:30 or 1, I always respond every single call. because my customers are more important for me. If customer is there, then only I am existing here in the market. Same thing we are doing now. We are available over customer support. That's fine. We are available over chat. We are available over the customer support. But my ecom manager contact number is there over the available. If customer is unable to connect over customer support because of any reason, we are not ready to wait. The customer will text and we will check and revert, or customer will mail us, then only will respond. They can reach out to my ecom manager who is always available.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gavis. I think these insights are great because I feel customer service is something that makes a customer come back. When I get good customer service, when get good support from a brand, I feel there are chances I would go back to them again and buy a product from them again. So, especially when e-commerce is on the rise right now. So, I guess these are all the questions I had. Now I'm opening the floor for the Q&A round wherein you can ask Gavest and Gauri all your questions, anything you have in the mind. I guess Gauri has answered a few questions already in chat itself and Gavest as well. So, I think that's great. We have a couple open questions. First is from Ambika. Okay. So Ambika asked that we deal in baby care products and selling it through a website and other marketplace as well. We have 3PL partners. Okay, so this is her. Okay, this is not a question.
Actually, Tanvi, Ambika asked a question to Gauri first.
Okay,
Gauri
okay.
already
This is
responded.
a follow-up.
Correct. So
Okay.
she wants to know, Gauri, will you be able to put her product into your warehouse? Or if you can help her out to put her few product into your box or something.
Yeah, so Ambika, by the way, we are massive. I don't know why I missed that question. I couldn't see it. But we do a lot of baby hampers. And we are very fortunate that our partnerships are not just with companies and corporates, they're also with individuals. Every young mother, and I'm a young mother, I have two kids. Uh, for us, having it's like the new thing, right? How we talk about Black Friday, it's like baby shower. So every young mother wants a baby shower hamper, and we do have a lot of baby shower hampers we do on a monthly basis, and we typically put products inside the hampers. So absolutely, just send me an email. I put it on chat. And we can see if this is something that's relevant for us. We would love to have your products in our hampers for baby shower.
Okay.
If that was the question,
Thank you.
I got it right.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Gauri. I guess we have two other, I guess, last questions we have remaining. That should we experiment with quick commerce channels during the festive season or avoid them? They're a FMCG category. I
I
So
guess,
think that
Gavis,
is
you
the
are
right
well
word to
suited for this
answer.
e-commerce is
answer.
not
Yeah.
ready to entertain at the time of festival season. You have to collaborate with them at least 7 or 8 months before the festival season, because they also have they stop accepting stock in their warehouse at least a month before this festival season got start. Again, to increase your volume to get a order for your category, you have to fulfill the quick commerce platform at least 7 to 8 months before, and then you have to plan your marketing and advertisement accordingly on that.
Okay. Gauri, did you want to add to the question of whether to experiment with quick commerce during festive season?
I think Gavis is absolutely right. They are set. So I think the conversation for any sort of onboarding with quick commerce marketplaces should be happening like yesterday. And essentially, you could look at smaller marketplaces that are more curated and boutique as opposed to the larger ones, and those might still be able to get you onboarded for your Diwali hampers.
Yeah. Last question I guess we have for the session, that what do you do when your inventory forecasting goes either overstock or out of stock?
I think in our case, we have like reorder levels. So, we never go out of stock. We always have that when it dips a certain stock level, we know our production and our tax. So we make sure that they're restocked. That's what we do. But I'm sure Gavist could answer that from a factory
In
perspective.
our scenario also remain the same. We have all those product which is our regular on continuous SKUs. So we don't do add on anything at the time of festival. These are my on regular moving SKUs only. Even though, as Gauri said, yes, we do all the planning 3 4 months before the season, so we can easily cater all the volume and out of stock scenario we never fail.
Okay. I guess we have one question about apparel. Uh, Unfortunately, we don't have Avanam with us right now. If any one of you have an answer for him, he's trying to start a brand 3 4 months before Diwali. Do you have any insights? We can also have Abhinav, give you a reply through email if you want. Otherwise, I feel any one of you can take up the question that if somebody is trying to start a brand 3 4 months before Diwali, how do they do that? Like, what do we avoid? He's asking that what do we avoid when we are starting a new apparel brand before 3 4 months before Diwali?
Hmm.
Don't go with the multiple options because it's your first season and again you are not aware about the market required and demand. Even though whenever we start our business we go with our best, but we don't know how customer will respond in our product. So go with the best and the standard or few SKUs only so that you will get a good experience for those, then you can plan for the next year better.
Yeah. Thank you, Gavest. Gauri, would you like to add to this?
Yeah, this no, I think Gavist is the right person, but I can add to the last question, which is
Hmm.
what if supplier couldn't make the supply suddenly? You always have to have multiple suppliers and backup plans for when it comes to your product curation for the festive season. You absolutely cannot be dependent on just one supplier, no matter how honest and sincere they are.
Okay. So I think we are through with all the questions for the webinar. And this brings us to the end of the webinar. A huge thanks to all of you and especially to Gauri, Gavis, and Abhinav. And because all of you engaged in this session very well, and our panelists also gave us a lot of insights into the upcoming festive season. And I hope today's discussion gave you a more clear roadmap that you can create for your own brand if you're a brand who's just starting out or had just started and into the backend ops. And let's hope this festive season is your most successful one yet. Here's wishing all of you a smooth, efficient, and a high performing festive season. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much for organizing this, and look forward to sort of doing more of these.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you everyone.